I don't understand where we're going wrong with the absolute side in Gaza.
You can see there's a pretty drastic difference in the person.
Do not donate to that GoFundMe, because there is no world where cremating a bearded dragon is $4,000.
You sat here and you begged for $4,000, which is like 4 times the cost of what you actually want to do to your dead lizard.
No one's forcing you to donate to a GoFundMe. That is based off free will.
It's their free will, but they're not making an informed decision because you're misinforming them.
I work in my house, in a room, for an hour a day.
Oh, it's so hard to live. I don't have the money. You work an hour a day. What the fuck is that?
Instead, you want to come to the internet and say, I'm begging for money and trying to profit off of my daughter's death.
Don't sit here and call your daughter, because I think that's gross, and I don't even think that you believe that.
I have had people accusing me of buying a bunch of fursuits.
1, 2, 3. I think this is a 4th. How many fursuits do you have? Stupid costume that you're wearing when you're trying to put out a super serious video. All right, guys, let's get this started. So I've been seeing this situation. Been seeing this situation a lot, and I'm like, oh, this could be a good short, a bit of like shorts content for just like a little like 3-minute segment. There's way too much. This goes so deep. It's so weird. So for anybody who doesn't know, this is the Margo girl. Let me show you their first ever. This is their first ever video from 2022, and this is them recreating in 2023. We're now in 2025. So you can see there's a pretty drastic difference in the person, but this is their first video that they got super viral in.
Excuse me, her name is Margo. Now Margo or Mango was Fargo. Yeah, someone said Wells Fargo. Like, her name is Margo.
And so they blew up pretty big. I can't show you their profile because for some reason TikTok is being annoying on the browser version only, but they have like 5 million followers. And they blew up off of this post alone. Which is kind of what happened back in the day, man. Like, during the early times in TikTok, you blew up for no reason. And I'm one of those people, by the way. I'm not even sitting here saying I'm super talented. I blew up in, like, 2020 as well. She blew up in 2020 as well. I think they go by they now. You got a ton of undeserved views. Everybody did, because everybody was home from COVID. They were home. They were a little frustrated and outraged. A lot of the political stuff that happened is because people were to a degree bored, and they were able to sit on the computer and get riled up by what was going on the internet. Not that it wasn't bad, but I don't think it would have been quite as bad if people were actually working. And so, like, back then, there's like 4 times as many views to go around. So even like D-tier content blew up, and she's like a conventionally attractive girl. So she's like, oh, she's pretty, and people see her doing a thing with a pet. So it blew up. And I think a lot of people ended up having that. And I think a lot of people, especially young people, because she was 17 at the time, a lot of young people thought that this was it. They were going to be able to ride this wave forever. Like easily. Like, oh, I'm just going to do vlog content. I'm going to be really popular and famous and blah, 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 blah. And then people started to go back to work, and the views started to taper off. And that was a struggle even for me. I'm 35. In 2020, that was like when I met my wife. I think I met my wife maybe the year before. Like, that's when I met my wife. Actually, no, like in 2020, like in December of 2019. Or maybe October. It doesn't matter. You get my point. And so even for me, it was like a struggle to be like, oh, I'm doing so well effortlessly on TikTok. And then the views go down and the money starts going down. Like, what do? I've been lucky enough to keep I've been on a good content pace. We're at a really good spot right now, and I'm happy. And like, I understand the landscape better, you know, clearly. But I don't think a lot of young people understand that. I think that there's a whole bunch of young people who got big off of zero effort content, and they struggled with falling off. And even the most popular TikToker, Cabby Lame, that black guy, his content is 0 effort, and he just managed to stay on top. He just literally points at things. I honestly have no fucking clue how he's anything. But that's what happened with them. Later, I want to watch some. This is a meltdown that they have. Actually, let's watch this first. This is from a long time ago. This isn't from now. It's actually not that long ago. But they got really upset over being a content creator. Hey, shut up. Just so you know, now this person has gone from doing whatever that was we just watched to doing OF content. They do OnlyFans. And I don't want to be rude or mean, and I don't want this to be targeted, but this person also identifies as like non-binary. And I do think that there is a direct connection to some people's identification, especially for AFAB people will say, I want to be respectful. So that's like assigned female at birth. So they were born like biologically a female. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. So in AFAB people, though, I think there's a direct connection of people identifying, or excuse me, I think there's a direct connection of people who were born a woman who identify as non-binary, and I think the connection there is the over-sexualization in some capacity, whether it is in real life, on the internet, or whatever, or whether it's, you know, brought onto themselves or not, because I would say if you do OnlyFans content, you're bringing sexualization to yourself. But I think that there's a lot of young people who are born a woman who identify as non-binary, and some kind of sexualization has kind of impacted them and made them feel like they don't want to identify with the feminine side of themselves anymore. And I think that I think that's what it is. And I think for them, it's, I make money doing OF content now, and especially since they were at a time where OnlyFans content was kind of being pushed by other young people doing OnlyFans, because they're like, oh, you can make so much money, you could do so well, and then you start doing it, and you get a lot of money at first, probably, and then all of a sudden you start to feel like you're objectifying yourself, and you feel like self-conscious, and you start to feel bad about it. Because I even said this before, I used to have a joking OnlyFans where I would just paint my belly, and I felt like, oh, I don't like this anymore after like a month, because I felt yucky. And so for them, they're financially locked into it, and I think what they do is they associate that sexualization with their femininity, and it makes them turn away from wanting to be feminine, right? And I don't think this is the only way it can happen. I think that there are some people who maybe gets overly sexualized in real life. Maybe they have a trauma associated with it. Maybe on the internet they're constantly having comments made about their body. I think that's part of it too, but I also think it's part of the way that we educate people, and that's through fear. We always do it. Like, let's just bring it directly to a father trying to protect their daughter. What do you think a father says to their daughter when they see a guy that might look a little creepy? You know, they probably, that guy's creepy, stay away from men will fucking do this to you. You know, it's like the way we used to teach sexual health education in school. What do we used to do? You know, somebody would talk about like, you'd be like, okay guys, if you have sex one time, you're gonna get pregnant, you're gonna get every STD, and your pussy's gonna rot, and you're gonna die. That's the way that they used to teach, you know? So I think it's a mixture between people actually being sexualized, and then also people being educated in a way that brings on a lot of fear and distress, and it makes them maybe not want to identify with that feminine side of themselves. Listen, non-binary is still valid. I'm not sitting here trying to say that it's invalid. I just think that there is an environmental factor for some people when it comes to this identification, and I personally see it more in AFAB, people will say. So I want to watch this part first, and then we'll get into the current controversy, because I've skimmed through this a couple of months ago, but I never really watched it, and I want to watch it, so.
Let's have a real talk. Because content creators
I believe they took this video down themselves, so.
are fucking people.
That is true. Sorry, I'm not trying to laugh at them. It's just like, I'm a content creator, so it's like, yeah, of course we are.
I never asked for a platform.
True.
I just made silly little videos with my lizard because I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny, and it was,
And yeah, like they blew up off of silly little videos because of like all like the factors I explained before.
entertaining. I never asked to blow up from Her Name is Margo. And ever since then, I have been put on this pedestal to create and put on a show and do marketing and do PR lists and
Kind of. I would say that's something that you could probably disconnect yourself from. And I think that like this is like should be a case study for young people, like parents, to be like maybe set good boundaries with their kids and their content, because, you know, it's a lot.
do collabs while my grandmother was exploiting me.
Whoa, what was she doing?
I didn't ask for any of this.
It's unfortunate because they didn't, but then they got like positive attention. They started to lean into it. And then you feel a little trapped, especially if you're young. Imagine like you're young and you start doing content and you get like really popular. So you like it a lot, but then again, the views taper down and you still like it because you want to do it because it's easy. This is so much easier than a real job. Like even for me, like holy fuck. And then you don't know what to do. And then you feel a lot of pressures because you want to maintain it. And then you start doing this, and you start doing that. Yeah. And like, I understand, I'm probably a little more sympathetic because a lot of people are like, why didn't they just walk away? That's a fair point. But I think, it makes sense that people would want to maintain their success. I just wish people were more productive about it. Like, I don't think her going into the direction of OnlyFans was a particularly productive way to go. I don't know what direction she could have went, because I do slop drama, political, social commentary. You know what I mean? I think so I don't really know what content strategy they could have done at all. I really don't know. But they could have probably done better. Maybe like putting some silly videos up onto your TikTok, and then maybe going to school, going back to school, going to college for something else instead of putting all your eggs into the content creation basket, you know?
And I just want you to imagine you are put on this pedestal with millions of people watching you.
I don't have to imagine, you know? I'm being silly.
Expecting one thing every single day, and you can't even do anything you like to do because they only want to see what they want to see.
That is a problem that a lot of creators go through. You have to just do whatever you want sometimes. There's a for content creators, people have to understand this. You need to experiment with your content, or you will become stale and people will stop giving a fuck about you. You know, it's the reason why I will do things even if they don't necessarily pull views, because it's an experimental process. And so I'm going to go to my page and I'll show you, like, because I think about what I do, you know, like, here we go. Here we go. Obviously, the Ethan Hassan, iDub stuff does well, so we do that regularly. People like to see it. I still enjoy talking about it, and we make some money. Caleb Hammer stuff has started to do well. I like Caleb. We're friends. That does well. That at first though, that was kind of an experiment. That was kind of a risk. We talked about the Actman stuff. Didn't do too well, but that's okay. I did a little experiment. This podcast didn't do amazingly, but it was political. But it still did okay. You know, this was a little bit more risky. Talking about this pirate software and like video game stuff did well. So you see how the Ghost of Tsushima, where I just showed my gameplay on there, that did horribly. But that's not like a bad. It's a failure is feedback. You know, and so but if you're not willing to make risks, you're not going to be able to do well. My most popular video on my channel is something people typically don't want to see from me, and it was just kind of or something I didn't expect people to want to see from me. You have to take risks on things, or else you're going to fail as a content creator. Even if most times it doesn't go well, you need to see, because especially if you're like somebody producing content like a video every day or so, you have plenty of room to make a risk. You're not doing a super meaningful video every single day. Like, you're not a video essayist who's like, oh, fuck, you're somebody pushing out content. So if you do something and people don't like it for a day, that's okay. Some of my best videos are videos that were like kind of a little risky. They were still within a sphere, but like risky. Like this was one of them. This was one of them. This was kind of an unexpected like hit, right? Like we looked through, this was an unexpected hit. As I scroll through here, this was an unexpected hit, right? This was an unexpected hit. So you see how like there are different videos, like this was an unexpected hit. That like sometimes you just have these unexpected hits. You have to make sure that you still take risks while understanding where your line is. Like, play your line, produce the content that people expect from you, but you have to start taking risks. You know? Talk about Just a Robot more. If there's another video you want me to take a look at, show it to me. So, you don't like Caleb? Bro, my wife and I are unironically planning a trip to go visit Caleb Hammer in like 2 months. We're going to try to go in like September, so. I love Caleb. I know he's a little sassy, but I like him. He's a real dude, you know? Like sometimes, it's so funny. I was watching Caleb Hammer's onboarding video the other day, and like everybody knows what they're getting themselves into. He's very open and direct about how catty the show is, and like you have to be prepared, and if you're not, then it's okay, but you shouldn't come onto the show. So I love Caleb, but anyway.
They don't want to even know anything about you.
Okay. It's so easy for me to like say all these things, but like I'm 35 years old. I started when I was 30, and like I'm a lot more mentally and like emotionally stable than a lot of these young people. And again, I have a partner, my wife, who I was with, that grounds me. She's in the real world, that's helped me go through stuff. Like I've had plenty of problems. I just keep most of my frustrations offline. So like this shouldn't have been a video. This should have been a conversation with like a friend or a parent that they can rely on.
Imagine you're a 17-year-old child. You're a child. And you join a little trend, and now you have millions of eyes watching you.
Yeah.
You're a child.
You can do risks, but they want to chase those high views. The one thing about me too is that back in the day when I used to do TikTok, I didn't care about views because I would just shitpost at work. So I'd post like 15 to 20 videos a day, and I would just shitpost at work all day. I didn't give a fuck because there wasn't a whole lot of work for COVID. There was like a brief window where there was a ton of work, and then it was just like we're jerking off, and I would just shitpost even when I was home. That's actually a different struggle I had. It was like when to not do content. Like I would be too content brained, which is something I've worked on now.
And then ever since you were a child, For 4 years straight, you have endured threats, you have endured doxing, you've endured exploitation.
They get doxxed? I didn't know that. People threaten me one time. Dude, I don't know why. It's so funny to me, though. People will message me sometimes and call me a big fat, and they'll call me racials and different slurs. It's so funny to me. I don't know. I'm probably just fucking weird. You know, I think most threats are really just... You know, they're blowing smoke up your ass. But also, I'm, again, older. They're younger, so.
You have endured death threats with guns, with rape, with so much violence.
I'm assuming those are messages that they were sent.
You get in detailed DMs.
I just don't read those.
About somebody is going to murder you.
I wonder where their parents are, man. Like, what's their relationship with their parents?
And then, as soon as you...
Why do these people complain about not real, cry about not real stuff? I think it's because it's real to them. They're kids. They're young. Like, 17 years old. They're like gaslit to think that this is the world. Think about it from the perspective of like a 17-year-old kid. That is true. I'm also 6'4". Think about it from the perspective of like a kid, right? Or a 17-year-old. Like, COVID happens in probably one of the most important times of your life. So like, you're 17. You don't go to school for a year. You're staying home and you're all on the internet. Your whole entire life becomes the internet. I think that's why. So it is, when you look at it compared to the real world, the regular world, this does seem silly. But when you look at it like that, like, I think that a lot of young people have had like a significant struggle getting through COVID because everybody was home for a year or so. They had their lives put on hold. Their entire world was online. And it was a shit show.
Getting to be an adult and you're like, hey, I've had this hobby since I was a child. Ever since I was 11 years old.
What, the lizard?
I have liked furry stuff. I have liked these anthropomorphic creatures because
they like they like furries a lot. It's going to be one of the things we talk about because they're trying to raise $4,000 for their animal, for Margo to get taxidermied and cremated, and there's apparently a cremation expert that we're going to reference to their TikToks. But it doesn't I don't think it costs $4,000. I'm pretty sure it's just like they want a new fucking fursuit. They're kind of like riding but they're trying to get some money out of their dead lizard, you know?
Because I love animals. I love dinosaurs.
Dinosaur chickens?
I love nature.
Whoa.
And because of that, people hate you even more and want to harm you even more.
Well, to be clear, nobody should harm anybody, even furries. But there's a difference between liking dinosaurs and shit and like owning fucking $4,000 or however many thousands of dollars fursuits. This is just the head of the fursuit. I'm not going to show you all their fursuit stuff. But it's a little different.
I don't understand. I don't understand where we're going wrong with the actual fucking issues in the world with children dying. The absolute genocide in Gaza.
Genocide in Gaza reference. August, that's probably a good intro clip for this video, but then remove me saying that, okay? That's fucking crazy. That's just fucking crazy. Okay. Yeah, man, that's crazy, brother. Sister. Okay. Probably gonna lose a lot of people with that one. They can flip that around on you. Oh, there's kids dying in Gaza. Why are you buying thousands of dollars worth of fursuits then? You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna get that reversed right onto you.
The absolute economy crisis in this world, that I can't even have a 9-to-5 job to pay for a decent apartment, that I have to exploit my body online.
What did I say, though? What did I say? I really think what I was saying before is true. Like, they started doing OF. They liked it a lot at first. Young people, especially young women, were being told to do OF. Then they did it, and they started to hate it, but they are financially dependent onto it now. And so they probably don't want to get an actual job. But then on top of that, they are kind of financially dependent onto the job because I believe that they live by themselves. Yeah, you know?
To make my fucking bills.
Whoa. Maybe buy fewer fursuits, I'll be honest with you.
And just because I incorporate my little hobby in there to make some extra cash, I'm disgusting.
You think that they write off their fursuits? Because I think... Do you think that they do the fursuit in their fucking porn? Do I want to look it up on the side? I unironically cannot do it. I just can't. I unironically can't go look up their shit. But I feel like they do. I feel like they do weird shit in their fursuit, and I feel like they write it off on their taxes. I feel like we're basically, they do. Why do you know that? I can't do it, dude. It's too fucking weird. Haha, it's too strange. Bro, if they actually do OF content with their fursuit, could you imagine they buy the fursuit for themselves and then they fucking jack off in it or whatever? And then they write it off on their taxes. And so you're basically, your tax dollars are going to this person's fursuit. Okay. In some indirect way. We don't judge here, Papa Gut.
And I deserve to die. You can ban from schools now for wearing a fucking costume, which nobody fucking does.
Then why does it matter?
Sorry if someone barks at you, get the fuck over it.
It's crazy that we went from Gaza to barking. Okay.
And then I'm sitting here told to get over it, it's not that serious because I'm upset about my death threats.
Damn.
Get your goddamn priorities straight and treat us like people.
Like furries?
Content creators are people.
That was a ride. Okay. That was so that was that. Now we're gonna get into the actual, again, I can't look at their actual page because it says the page isn't available for whatever reason. Like, but only on the browser. I can't change any. I don't really understand it. This is fucking stupid. This is the person we're gonna reference later. Let's start out where it starts though, and this is the first thing where everybody finds out that Margo, the lizard, has passed away. We showed the lizard. Here's the lizard from earlier. So sad, Kings. So sad. So Margo passed away. Holy fuck. I got a picture of it. This is for some reason age restricted. Lost DMing ability and 3 new account strikes because I went off on somebody for admitting they watched my porn as a minor. But I'm the weirdo because you actively sought it out and said you do. I don't know what MDNI means, personally. Should I even Google that? Minors do not interact. Gotcha. Okay. I'm going to be real with you. When I was 13 years old, I was absolutely blasting my meat to Girls Gone Wild commercials, okay? It's kind of normal for young people to jack off to porn. Okay? I do think that this person's intentions were probably good, I hope. But it's weird that you would argue with a minor. Presumably in DMs, since you lost DMing ability. I don't know about it. It just seems weird. You should probably set the boundary to just block the person if they said that. I don't know why you're talking to them in private. Again, I don't think that they're doing anything weird. Well, predatory. I don't think they're doing anything predatory, but maybe just block that person. You know? Maybe just block that person. That's a little fucking strange. And then also to admit it to it, I don't understand. It's a little bit strange. You're going to get some heat for this one. This is the next post. Margo's urn has been ordered, and her GoFundMe to have her with us forever has started. We are almost halfway there. The taxidermist to process her skeleton and cremate her has also been contacted, and we will be sending her off soon. She will have a gorgeous shadow box made, custom urn, and a statue with art made of her. I miss you, sweetheart. You know, to be honest with you, I can kind of understand why she's upset. I don't know about the $4,000. We'll look at the GoFundMe in a second. About Margo dying, but also, I wonder if she's relieved. Because, like, Margo was what she got really a lot of views on originally, and people were probably like, what happened to the Margo girl? Blah, 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 blah. She's not even known as her name. They aren't known as their name. Sorry. I'm not trying to be, like, fucking asshole. They're not known as their own name, which I believe is Hawke. You know, it's incredible. They're known as the Margo girl, right? The Margo person. And so I wonder if they were almost relieved that the lizard died. I don't know. This is the age-restricted video of them explaining the GoFundMe, so let's look at the GoFundMe first. Celebrate Margo's life with a memorial! I say, show the fucking thing some respect and just let it be dead. You know? Anyway, there's somehow $3,076 out of $4,000 Crazy. I don't understand it. Hello, everyone. My name is like not for nothing, but they brought up Gaza before. You're gonna give this person $3,000 for their fucking lizard to be cremated when they're sitting here virtue signaling about Gaza. I think maybe that money should go to kids in Gaza. You know. Hello, everyone. My name is Roman Hawke, and I was most known on the internet in 2020 for Her Name is Margo. And since then, my life has changed. Margo was born January 28th in 2018 in Navarre, Florida, I guess, and soon came to be mine that year. Her life was filled with loves, bugs, and adventure. She never, well, probably not, because COVID didn't allow people to be really very adventurous, but she never knew how she was adored online. How do you know that? Lizards are so smart. Look at how much I have to zoom in. She never knew the amount of love she had from strangers on the internet. She was my first responsibility, and I made sure I kept her with me as long as possible. From graduating to moving to AL, I don't even care where that is. From, I guess, Florida to NYC or wherever the fuck AL, Alaska? I don't know. What's AL? Chat, look it up for me. To seeing brothers and sisters, brand deals, custom art, and shoes. You got brand deals and custom art and shoes? What the fuck? She was a spotlight, and she knew it. She is a beautiful inside and out. Well, apparently she had cancer, so I don't know how beautiful she was on the inside. She was the biggest fighter I'd ever seen. She survived 2 major surgeries at once. Her uterus was septic, which caused an infection to spread to her tail, resulting in a hysterectomy? I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but I don't care. And a half tail amputation. And she recovered beautifully, rocking that little nub. Alabama. That's crazy. Sadly, today, June 20th, 2025, I woke up to take a photo of her, and she was her happy colors, a beautiful banana yellow, but this time she didn't look at me like she usually did. That's when I knew I wasn't ready. I'm still not ready. As a taxidermy collector, I have chosen to keep her skeleton articulated, or to have her skeleton articulated in the pose of one of her photos. I have shown and have the rest of her cremated into an urn. Unfortunately, I do not have the funds to get her cremated currently, so don't you just throw it into a fucking fire? I don't know. So I could use all the support I could get in this devastating time. She will have a beautiful memorial shelf in my home, along with a statue and art pieces from fans across the globe. Her name was Margo and will forever be Margo. Wow. Incredible. And here are some pictures of them when they maybe were a little more regulated. But okay. Before we do this, I want to. These are pretty brief. This is the taxidermist person.
Margo, the bearded dragon. I am an animal cremation specialist as
Yeah,
well
me
as a
too.
taxidermist that
I cream all over animals. Sorry, that's probably inappropriate.
specializes in bone harvesting and pet memorials. So, unsurprisingly, I have been asked my opinion on this situation.
I don't know why this person looks so familiar, but probably still like a viral video of theirs.
Y'all are being scammed. Do not donate to that GoFundMe.
Maybe it's this. I always see this. The septum piercing. You know.
Because there is no world where cremating a bearded dragon is $4,000. The company that I work for, we would charge under $300 for a complete private package for the cremation of a bearded dragon.
Sure.
So I don't know where $4,000 is coming from. And yes, that includes a custom urn. And as a taxidermist, yes, full body skeletal articulation is expensive, especially for a lizard, but $4,000. No, don't donate to that GoFundMe. Plus, that lizard was neglected to the point that it died.
That I don't know. That I don't really know.
Bearded dragons have a lifespan of like 15 to 20 years, I'm pretty sure. And if I am correct, Margo was 7. So I don't know what the hell.
Were they 7? Yeah, they were like 7. Oh shit. Oh fuck, they just said that in the they said that in the GoFundMe, didn't they? That is really zoomed in. Who the fuck was zoomed in this much? Yeah, they said this in the GoFundMe, didn't they? Oh shit. That's crazy. What the fuck is happening here? Well, it's just to be fair, when I look it up, it says 7 to 15 years. So, I don't know. That's still on the low ends. But if they had cancer, I mean, I don't really know if what causes chat. What causes cancer? Was the dragon drinking Diet Coke? I don't know. I don't think it causes cancer. How much red dye 40 was Margo having? How much red dye 40 was Margo eating? What's going on here, guys?
The hell that 4,000 number came from.
This still seems insane.
I'm 80% sure that they're going to spend it on a fursuit because we all know those are expensive.
That's true.
Because yes, animal cremation is expensive. Yes, taxidermy is expensive, but not that expensive. Holy crap.
Here's my thing. I feel like if you're sitting and you're complaining about how it's so tough to live and you don't have the money for things, that maybe you shouldn't get a fucking animal taxidermied and cremated. You know what I mean? Not trying to be rude, but it's really weird where people, and like, shit's tough right now. I totally understand. But if you're like, oh, things are so tough, let me go fly across the world to go visit family, or shit is so tough, let me taxidermy my fucking lizard, or let me own a fursuit, or maybe things are not as tough as they are. Maybe they could be tougher and you're just kind of complaining and you should stop being stupid. But, you know, whatever. Fuck me, right? This is Hawke came out and said that the dragon had cancer.
So
this
the
is a
problem
response
is
to
that
that.
does not matter. An animal having cancer does not change the price of cremation, like, at all. It's based on the size and the size only. And when it comes to, oh, she had cancer, so of course she didn't live that long. She also didn't have proper husbandry. And if your animal has cancer, you should have above proper husbandry. Not
I don't know what is that? What that means?
mid, like Margo had.
What is husbandry? The fuck does that mean? So husbandry is the care, cultivation, and breeding of crops and animals. What the fuck? I have no fucking idea what that means. Wise management of resources. All right, whatever. I don't know what that.
Margo had. That poor fucking lizard.
True. Well, apparently Hawke is poor too. What the hell is this? This is creepy. What the fuck? I shouldn't have clicked on it. We're gonna move on. It's the last video that they have. It says, he also said he wants Margo cremated and taxidermied. Like, I'm no expert, but how does that work?
This is definitely
Yeah, I don't get that either. Like, how do you taxidermy and cremate something?
the most asked question in my comment section right now.
Turn this up.
The answer is that it would not work. Soft tissue, like fat and muscle and tendons and skin, doesn't survive the cremation process. Ashes are only made up of skeletal remains. And I don't want to make another video about this because it's stupid, so while I'm here I'll just clear some things up. For people that are like, he doesn't want him cremated, he wants him taxidermied. And
Yeah, well, the GoFundMe says both. I just still don't understand how that works.
second of all, it's not as much as he's claiming it would be. If you're being charged over like $600 for a bearded dragon articulated skeleton, find somebody else because that price is egregious. Even $600 is really up there. I'm just struggling to understand how people are not really understanding what I was saying in my video. I was just saying that even if it was cremation, even if it was taxidermy, the numbers just don't add up, and that's all I'm saying. I wasn't trying to start any internet beef or drama. I'm an adult with a job. I don't...
Damn, that's fucking probably hurts that Hawke Roman Hawke Roman
do that kind of thing.
Roman
I
Hawke.
just wanted to put that information out there because I am a professional and was asked for my opinion.
Oh, crazy. Imagine their dead name was Lizzie. That would just be silly, wouldn't it? Okay. Sorry, I'm being stupid as fuck. Alright, so this was the next post that they had after whatever we left off at. I had to download it because, again, the browser app is terrible. The app is fine, but the browser is like obnoxious and doesn't let you look at shit. It's fucking annoying as shit.
Hi.
Make sure this is turned all the way
I
up.
wanted to come on here and talk about some things that are utterly atrocious.
Wow.
And
What a stark contrast from what they used to look like. I really do feel like it's like this is what they used to look like. I really feel like it's the over-sexualization associated with the OnlyFans, especially since they had said it in that video where they were having a meltdown that they feel pressured to maintain their OF because it's the only way they make money. And then when you look at... Shut the fuck up! Sorry. I'm just being silly. When you look at this... So they posted this after everything had happened, with the lizard died. They're like, what happened to the Margo person? Oh, maybe this isn't. This is a pinned comment. Okay, so this wasn't after, my bad. But either way, every time they plug it, they're dressed more femininely. And here we go. Now we got this video. This was, I think this is another pinned... Okay, I thought that these were posted then. But either way, these are pinned videos. Every single time they're plugging the OF, they're always showing this, the feminine side. And I really do think that they associate that... I'm going to fart in my pants. I think that every single time they just associate that feminine side of them with doing OnlyFans, and I think that's like the significant source of why they like identify as non-binary, honestly, or he. You know, I would say if they didn't do OnlyFans, I would honestly say that they may not be identifying this way because they wouldn't feel all this pressure.
absolutely appalling that I even have to bring any of this shit up. First, I want to start with the AI generated facts.
Roman Hawke is definitely active in adult content, and with multi-million follower TikTok account, probably earns between 800,000 and 3.5 million per year, making a net worth of that's doubtful. That's insane. I doubt that they make that much money. TikTok is like drastically capped. I mean, maybe if they had a ton of brand sponsors, but they're completely unsponsorable, so I wouldn't doubt that. I wonder what it says about me. All right, guys, here we go. The term Papa Gut. Oh, Papa Gut net worth. Let's just do Papa Gut net worth. Okay, give me my fucking net worth. This is my my estimated income. Oh, this is. Oh, I thought. Okay, wait, what does this say? Papa Guts seems to be a nickname, and it's unclear who it refers to. However, there are a couple of people. Oh, okay, this isn't even looking. Okay, so I guess I can't get my like actual net worth. I guess I can't figure it out. And won't tell me my net. I guess I'm not cool enough to have it.
About my income, there is no way in hell I could make anywhere to $1 million a year or more.
Maybe if you fucked 1,000 guys or something like that one person did.
Also, I'm pretty sure Roman Hawke is also a tattoo artist. That's
Okay.
That's a different person. I'm not a tattoo artist. I don't make money off tattoos.
Cool.
I have.
Then you should stop getting them. You know what I mean? Chat, are you allowed to complain about being poor and then get a bunch of tattoos? Are you allowed to do that? I don't know.
One tattoo I've done myself.
Whoa,
I'm
you're
not
not. That makes you an artist.
I have had people accusing me of buying a bunch of fursuits and taxidermy. Clearly, all these people do.
Listen, you have a bunch of fursuits. All right, I was scrolling through your page. I can't do it again. I can't do it right now. But you have at least this fursuit, which this is apparently they put a fursuit on and had a crash out moment, and they deleted it. We're gonna watch this. And then there's like another one. So like you have a couple of fursuits. I think you have more than that. So those are expensive. So
do not know me whatsoever at all, or else they would know. For the last 2 years, I have been selling all my fursuits, selling all my taxidermy. I have not bought new suits, and I have not bought new taxidermy.
why the fuck are you buying dead animals articulated skeletons? I don't understand that.
Anything that has come in was either through trade or for free.
Through trade?
Hello? People are now deciding to call me a fucking zoophile.
Okay. Let's see. I'm a little confused. What happened? Basically, Margo's owners was exposed for being transphobic towards a lot of people, ableists, and they're into feral NSFW or animal corn. Okay. What is feral NSFW? What the fuck? I never heard that.
For wearing a mask during my my work.
Work?
I don't even know how to explain that, because that is the most brain dead, demented shit I've ever heard.
It's crazy.
So in light of me losing my daughter, I can.
That's fucking crazy to call the lizard a daughter, but maybe okay.
Considered Margo my child. I
don't know.
cared for her like my child.
I don't know. But isn't that fucked up though? If you're telling me that you considered your lizard your child, if that was true, it would be kind of weird to want to fucking taxidermy your own child. So I don't think you ever saw it as a child, or you just have a very skewed perception of what a child would be treated as, you know? Yeah, it's like my kid. Imagine you had like a fucking kid that died of cancer at like 7 years old, and you're like, yeah, there's the kid over there, and it's just on the floor right here. There's my kid. Yeah, I got a taxidermy. They love balloons. I made them taxidermy. Then you know, man, this thing really. This is wow. Yeah, guys, my kid's a little malnourished here. You know, just like Margo's lizard. I don't know. Sorry, that was a little fucked up. They had cancer. That's terrible. You know, hey, here's my taxidermy. I paid somebody. I needed $4,000 for this one. I actually could see them like charging $4,000 or more to taxidermy a child, because that's probably illegal. I don't even think I need to look that up. Like my child over there. Incredible. Incredible.
She was my first ever responsibility.
Whoa.
In light of me losing her, everyone has decided to just fucking jump down my throat.
Well, I think it's because you're asking for $4,000 for something that should cost you less than $1,000, and also it's a lizard. I'm not trying to be rude, but
For shit that's either 100% false, never fucking happened.
Yeah.
And just making up shit on spot because you have nothing better to do with your life.
I don't. Let's be fucking real. I have nothing better to do. This is why we're sitting here watching this on 4th of July. Neither do you guys. You're just as bad as me.
On that topic, no one's forcing you to donate to a GoFundMe that is based off free will.
Yeah, but it's like dishonest, right? So here's the thing. People are extraordinarily and like vehemently fucking stupid. And so they probably actually trust and respect you. And I'm not saying you're not worth trusting and respecting. I'm saying that they trust and respect you so much that their stupid fuck brains don't question how much it actually costs to taxidermy / cremate the remains of a fucking lizard. Now, we've already seen that the estimates are roughly $1,000 for that whole process. And that's probably over-exaggerating the price. So you're asking for $4,000, which is most likely a dishonest amount of money, and you are basically preying on, or I don't want to use the word preying. You are counting on the goodwill of people who respect you to be dumb enough to fall for that. And so, like, yes, it's their free will, but they're not. They aren't making an informed decision because you're misinforming them, and that's the problem, right?
No one is forcing you to drop $5, $10, $15, $50, $100.
$50, $100?
Forcing you
what the
to
fuck?
Do anything.
Whoa.
As I have said, money is tight. But for some reason, people want to tell me I'm financially fine. Why would I ask for help if I'm fine?
Bro, you're asking for $4,000. Chill out.
Why would I do that? If I was fine and was able to do any of this on my own, I wouldn't have posted anything. But instead, you want to come to the internet and say I'm begging for money and trying to profit.
I mean, you're trying to get people to come onto your stuff, to the internet. That's how you make money, isn't it?
Off of my...
It's enough to cover the next 3 daughters. True.
my daughter's death.
My daughter.
Of my baby's death.
Dude, fuck you. Honestly, like... You know, up until now, my video, I think, we've been having a little bit of fun, but I think that this is, I think that of all the people talking about this person, I've been the most charitable. I talked a lot about their past in a very productive way, and I even humanized them when they had their, like, meltdown about how, like, they're content creator, and content creators are people too. But you're sitting here and you're telling us that your fucking daughter died? Fuck you, because I don't think that you even believe that. I think that's gross. I think that's the grossest thing. I think that's worse than you begging for 4 times the amount of money that you actually needed. That's not your fucking daughter. Nobody taxidermies their fucking daughter, okay? And only actual, like, legitimate pieces of shit would ever use their daughter for views. And that's what this feels like. It just feels really gross. I think this is just, like, a gross thing to say. You know, it's okay that that was, like, something very close. It's very special to you. They're the representation that you blew up as a content creator. They were with you throughout that entire time. They might have even been the only thing that you got to lean on while you were, you know, going through the motions of getting a lot of views undeservedly because of TikTok. There's tons of people that were there. And then trying to maintain that career as views fell off because people went back to work, and that you probably leaned on them emotionally because maybe you have something going on with your family, which the fact that they didn't set strong boundaries for a 17-year-old person on the internet communicates to me that you did not have a particularly strong family. But don't sit here and call it your fucking daughter, because I think that that's gross, and I don't even think that you believe that, and it's just kind of disrespectful to people that have actual children and not fucking lizards, okay?
It's fucking sick. It's really sick. With all this going on, I had to have a major talk with my partner, and I'm moving back home to Alabama.
All right.
To be near my family. And
that's probably rough. That's probably not good. Fucking Alabama. That's probably not good for a trans person.
Have a complete mental restart because this is taking such a toll on me. I'm not functioning properly. Hell, my phone's broken now.
Why? And how are you posting TikToks?
Because the amount of hate and harassment and blatant false accusations that has happened since she has passed caused me to throw my phone across the room. That's my fault.
Whoa! Typical male anger problems, am I right, guys?
That is my fault for not able to control and handle my emotions properly. That's not any blame on anyone else, but now I've got to figure out
It's on.
the money to fix this, and that
Okay.
set me back a lot as well.
But you haven't spent any money to fix it yet. And also, it was just working. Wait.
Now I've got to figure out the money to fix.
I mean, I guess half the screen. Is half the screen broken, or is this like a weird lie? I don't know. Okay.
I've got to figure out the money to fix this, and that's set me back a lot as well.
Gotcha.
And people are telling me I should have been more financially
They're 22 now.
prepared. How was I supposed to be financially prepared for an event I didn't know what was going to happen? I have been trying to save money for months and months and
Stop fucking buying fursuits, dude.
months, and I've been selling shit left and right. I don't even own 80% of the things I used to own about a year ago. I have been getting rid of things. I have been selling taxidermy. I have been selling my belongings. I have been working my ass off. But because my rent in this apartment
What that means? My question is do you have like a real job on top of the OF shit? What's going on with that?
is so high and my bills are so high, and I'm
Yeah, you
the
live in
only
New
one who
York.
pays for everything.
I mean, if you're living in New York, I mean, maybe you should have moved back home sooner. Like, this is the thing about you can do like, here's the thing, it's an internet job. And if you don't have the money to live, but you're still able to afford like a living in New York, move back to fucking Alabama sooner. Like, why are you moving back now that Margo is dead? Why aren't you moving back earlier so that you had more of a financial barrier? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense to me.
It is taking a financial toll on me. It's not anyone's fucking business, but clearly now it has to be someone's business because everybody just wants to say, I have money, when in reality, I don't.
That's because you spend irresponsibly. But also, again, you're asking for $4,000. Hey, what's up? Yeah, my kid's awake saying hi. Sorry. It's a little fucking rude. Sorry about that. Okay, anyway. What the fuck was I saying? Oh, you're asking for too much money, and I think you know that, so.
I am asking for a simple bit of help from people who are willing. I am not forcing anyone to do anything. I am not demanding anything. I am asking
Under false pretenses, right?
for help,
You're misinforming people when you ask for that amount of money.
which is something people are allowed to do. You're also allowed to not help. It's as simple as that. You don't want to do something, you don't do it. You want to do something, you do it. No one's holding you at gunpoint to do anything for me. And with all that being said, the insensitive comments have just been.
There's also a whole process where they can do themselves to get the skeleton. All they really need to do is a specific type of beetle. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Bury her, put her in a shoebox. No. I'm sorry, no.
Yeah, just don't do it.
I do not have a backyard. I do not have a front yard.
Yeah, maybe they should go on Caleb Hammer's show. Let's do it. Let's set it up.
This is the easy. She's not going to. Her body will not survive the move for me driving from here all the way back down the south. It's not. So
I would just very respectfully bury it. Throw it in the toilet. I don't know. Sorry, that's insensitive. Just do something easier. Maybe just the cremation, you know?
I'm doing what I want to do with her. It's no one else's choice but mine.
Whoa.
And there is no wrong
Hey, dude. Her body, her choice, okay?
in asking for help. But once again,
Roman Hawke is frying me, bro. Rest in peace, Margo. But how do you want money for Margo's cremation, but you also want the skeleton that is even more expensive job? Or do you just do you just do OF? Because if so, then that's low key an issue. Dude, these people, holy fuck. They spell issue as ISSYOU. Who should have planned income accordingly. Just bury her in a portable flower pot and decorate it and make it beautiful. I think that's a really good alternative for not being able to afford it. Or not having an area to bury her. I don't know anything about a portable flower pot, but the general sentiment is fair. If you don't have the money, do something cheaper, you know?
I see everything. I see every comment that.
Guys, I want to turn my lizard into a fucking dildo. Let's do it. Bad dragon, bad lizard.
It's made. I see every post
That's crazy, sorry.
that's made about me.
Well, maybe you should stop looking on the fucking internet. Get offline. Go get a hobby. Get a real job. Do your porn or whatever, but get a real job. Maybe we'll have a little more, maybe things will be a little bit better for you.
I see everything that's said about me.
Like, you're fucking masturbating on the internet for money. You probably do that like a fucking half hour to an hour a day, if that. That's one of the problems, too. A lot of content creators online will do, like, very low effort stuff that's, like, an hour or two, and they're, like, really comfortable barely working, and then they complain about it. Like, oh, you don't have enough money. Go work at fucking McDonald's, or probably a hot topic would be maybe a little better for you, or something like that. But, or a smoke shop. These are all because of the way you look is fine, but I don't know if McDonald's will hire you. Do more stuff. Do something else on top of what you're doing. Don't think you're too good for it. You know, go back to school. Become a thing. I mean, if you like taxidermy so much, unironically, like maybe there's one thing that this Margo person could, maybe there's one thing that fucking Roman Hawke could learn through this whole thing. You sat here and you begged for $4,000, which is like 4 times the cost of what you actually want to do to your dead lizard. Okay, begging people for money. I don't know. You're fucking 23 years old, fucking masturbating on the internet. I'm not trying to be an asshole. You've complained about how it actually distresses you doing that. Go move back home in fucking Alabama and go to school to be a fucking taxidermist. You said that you like taxidermy. You buy taxidermy. That's strange, but whatever. So why don't you learn to do that? Get a job. Maybe use this as your growth moment. We just watched you have a meltdown about how much it upset you that you got really like famous and popular on TikTok during a time where views were all over the place and you spiraled and you started doing OF and you hate it, but you're spending on it financially and this and blah, 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 blah. Go become a taxidermist. Do whatever the fuck you do. Take the skeletons out of animals or something. Put effort into yourself. You're 23, okay? I started going back to school at 29. I got lucky and I got to do this full time. But you're 23. Go be a fucking taxidermist. Change your entire TikTok. Your whole TikTok. Like, this could be an amazing growth moment for you right now. I'm not even kidding. This could be an amazing growth moment. This could be an amazing trajectory shift for you. An amazing time where you could probably have a better relationship with your content. Go back to school to be a taxidermist and change your TikTok from posting constantly about masturbating in fucking fursuits and make content about your taxidermy since you love animals so much. I think taxidermy is weird as shit, but whatever. Do your thing. Like, do that. Be happy. Change your life. Make this a moment where you engage in positive growth. A year from now, if you're in taxidermy school, I don't know how the fuck long it takes. Whatever. A couple of years from now, you could be making money doing taxidermy and posting about it on TikTok. I think that's the way to go in the future anyway. Double dip. You already have the views, the audience. People might not like it at first, but I think that they would like it as time would go on. Who cares if some people unfollow? Actually, every time I've had people unfollow, like a month later, it's the most productive fucking time I ever have. Sometimes you gotta purge your audience. Let them unfollow. Do what you want to do. What if it doesn't work out? Who gives a fuck? Then you still do taxidermy. Take risks. Okay, so do that or join the Coast Guard or something. I don't fucking know. Be a mumble rapper. Just like use this as a moment. Like reflect on your shit.
And I have just watched disrespect after harassment.
Whoa, I stopped watching that guy after he was talking to young people. You know what I'm saying?
Boundaries crossed ever since she has passed.
Whoa.
It is not that hard to block me. If you really don't like me that much, it is not that hard.
So you blocked them.
To press a single button.
Does it take 4 to 6 years? How long does taxidermy school take? Thank God for spell check. Holy fuck. It says it's short. Some of them are shorter. 4 to 6 weeks. Yours says 4 to 6 years. Where the fuck did you get 4 to 6 years? They have like 4. Dude, it takes like 2 fucking months. What are you talking about? 4 to 6 weeks. You could become a fucking taxidermist in 4 to 6 weeks. Do that. Do that.
And then it's not that hard to not go to a website you're not supposed to be on.
What?
God gave you a brain for a reason. Use it.
That's crazy, referencing God when you're... Okay, let's just move on. All right, this is the... We looked at this already. Here's another post. She had cancer, more specifically GNT, gastric neurodoctrine carcinomas. Okay, did I say that right? Tumor that starts in the stomach and spread to other organs, with symptoms of weight loss, lethargy, and anorexia. What the fuck? They said it was very rapid and happened within a short period. It's unpreventable. That's sad. My dog had cancer, and that made me sad. This is just a post that they had posted also. Dude, don't make fun of me for being a bad reader, okay? Me watching blatant made up lies being spread about About across the entirety of... Gotcha. Okay, I don't know what we needed that one. This is unavailable. This is probably... Oh, this is a video that's unavailable. I don't know why they're unavailable.
You didn't go for money for a fossil. That's demented. You spent this much on a fossil. 4 years ago.
What fossil did you buy? Were you the one who sent 2 human skulls? What?
When I had the money. You neglected Margo when you're born instead.
I work in my house.
That's 2 fucking fur... It's... Oh my god, it's 2 furry skulls. Wait. 1, 2, 3. I think this is a 4th. Oh, how many fucking fursuits do you have? What the fuck is this? This is like next level goonery. If you're fucking jacking off in these things. What the fuck? This is worse than me. I'm a fucking gooner. I got a VR headset just to jack off. By the way, not worth the effort. It's fucking annoying. Especially when you have glasses. You got a fucking VR headset, you put that on. Oh, let me breathe. Oh, my glasses get pushed into my face. I got goddamn smudges all over my lenses. I breathe and I fill up my whole face. Who the fuck invented this piece of shit? Who the fuck invented the goddamn VR headset? Oh, I don't want people with glasses to be able to jack off. Well, I didn't make VR for you to jack off. Who the fuck has VR other than people who are jacking off? What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, every single innovation that's ever happened happens to jack off to. That's a fact. Okay, why do you think that they made graphics in video games better? So that we could look at fucking Lara Croft's tits without them being boxy. Although, not bad. Even in box form. Oh, well, what about us going to the moon? Martian moon girls? Moon tits? What the fuck are you talking about, idiot? What the fuck? You know, the reason that they invented going to the moon is because women get on top for fucking 30 seconds and they're tired. Oh, I'm tired. Well, there's no fucking gravity on the moon. So, you know, no more fucking excuses from you. Like, what the fuck? Smartphones? Oh, let me just go into the bathroom at work and jack off. Chad, do I have a problem? You get prescription VR lenses? That is fucking insane. How? I'm just saying, dude. Every innovation that's ever been made is to jack off to. And more easily. Also, like, the immersion of getting a VR headset is outweighed by the convenience of just staring at a phone and blasting it, you know, with your left hand. Because I use my right hand to hold the phone. You know, I like to hold the phones, you know, and then I, you know, jack off with my left hand. So, anyway, that was probably a completely unnecessary rant. Let's just get back into the video.
By myself in a room for an hour a day. Not even.
Wait, what?
By myself in a room.
Ago, when I had the money. You neglected Margo when you're born instead.
I work in my house. By myself in a room for an hour a day.
Really? You work for a fucking hour a day? That's what I'm talking about. Oh, it's so hard to live. I don't have the money. You work an hour a day. What the fuck is that? That's crazy. You need more money. Start sexting dudes or something. I don't fucking know what you do under. So why couldn't you get a job? Why couldn't you do more content? I would recommend against it. Why couldn't you go to school to have a better career? Okay, like I remember back in the day, this was years ago, this was the beginning of TikTok. People used to love me on TikTok, you know? And there was this girl, and they had an OnlyFans, and they gave me a free OnlyFans, because I had my own joking OnlyFans. Like, oh, I'll give you access for free for a year. And I was chatting with them, like, yeah, I just do this, and then I'm going to go to school to be like a fucking doctor. And that's crazy, because the person hid their face, and I was like, you're Asian. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell. But it was like, dude, you could have done something like that. You could have... You could have done something else. You could have planned for the fucking future. I don't know. I mean, it's, you know, hindsight's 2020, I guess, but shit.
Not even.
You're sending me death threats through Go.
Also, really quick, I know this is off topic, and I'm really sorry, but how come nobody that looks like this, that wears prescription glasses, just puts glasses onto the end of the nose piercings? Right? Like, doesn't that make sense? Right, like check this out. We got this is like, imagine that you were a glasses person that also wanted to look like a Mortal Kombat character. Pretty cool, by the way. And you're like, oh man, like what can I do? Like, what can I do to be extra cool? And you're just like, oh, what if I had glasses that are like this? A bar goes through there. Right, her name is Margo. And boom, now you have 2 glasses look like that. You look kind of like fucking Batman or something. Maybe you have something cooler. There's like some wings on the side. You know? Like, that's kind of cute. That's kind of cool. What do you guys think? And then if it was still COVID, you could have this as a face mask. Just have like a cool metal face mask that goes onto that. Like, where's the attachments? So you could put some really cool attachments onto your shit. Like, what the hell? Why don't you guys do that? I just find that very strange. Like, there's been no meaningful innovations when it comes to any of this stuff. Like, make this stuff more practical. Like, what are you doing? It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. You know, maybe you can make these, change this. This could be like this could be like remotes for your television, where you could play this Nintendo Switch with your nose. Beep, 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 beep. The fuck are you guys doing? You know, and for sure you can get something in here. Like, what if these are the ear things? Like, what if they had they're closed off here, and then you had like a cute flower that kind of just like sprouted from here, like a rose maybe. That you just have like a nice little flower with a couple of leaves, something like that. You guys could have done something cool, or I don't know. What else would you put in there? A pen? Yeah, you could put like a pen in there. You could put a pencil here. We'll just do a eraser down. Could have put like a fucking pencil in here. You know? I think we could probably, like, you could leave it like this though, because like pencils are the color of their wall. Or you could put a cigarette in there. Imagine you got like this when you put your cigarette. Look at that. So now you have this. Earbud holders, that's a great idea as well. You know, I think that's fantastic. So look at this. This would have been so fucking cool. You know? Maybe you could have put your social security number or your phone number on one of the tattoos so you knew where the fuck you lived, you know? Beer opener? Dude, that's a great idea. You could have a bottle opener with a beer. You could be holding a beer right here. And you could use your you know, put like the XXX on it. You know what I mean? Like the old moonshine. You could have a beer and you could just like, oh, let me put that up to my ear and boop, you could pop it off. You could pop it off. And maybe you just get like a cool top hat too. And while we're at it, you can look like Abraham Lincoln. Fuck it, right? Is this well, that's a little rough. That's a little rough. We'll try that a little bit better this time. Oh yeah. Look at this, is so cool. Like, imagine you guys were fucking cool, but instead you're, whoa, I don't know what I did, but that looks great. That was fucking crazy. Why didn't it just get the whole head? Get the whole head. Yeah, you get what I'm saying, dude. You know what I mean? Like, this would have been fucking awesome. They look Amish. So, anyway, we just did that for some reason.
GoFundMe, my email, my phone number,
Whoa.
my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram.
I don't even know what's happening. I was yapping too much.
Email, my phone.
Okay, hold on.
Room for an hour.
Wow.
Not even. You're sending me death threats through
Whoa.
GoFundMe, my email, my phone number, my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, and any way y'all can reach me. Y'all are fucking demented.
Crazy.
Y'all are sick. Oh, there's a lot of other heinous shit I want to say, but I don't give a fuck anymore.
Okay.
The death of my literal daughter.
You gotta stop. Yeah, 4 piercings ago. Incredible.
My baby, my everything.
Wow.
Warrants death threats for shit I didn't even do.
It's not your baby. Please stop. When you say that, it makes me hate you. You know, I don't want to hate you, but every time you call it your actual child, it makes me fucking kind of angry, like beyond what I want to be.
Wow.
Chat, guys, I don't care. I'm just gonna make 5 more videos about it and then have a crash out about it. So this is like the post that they posted. It says, you know, this is their name on Instagram. Fair Hope Herps. It's incredible. That's beautiful. Maybe it could have been like Margo's mother instead of Fair Hope Herps. I don't know. That's a little crazy. With the heaviest heart, Margo passed away peacefully in her sleep. I thought she had cancer, not a heavy heart, but okay. She lived a long life full of loves, bugs. Oh, we already looked at all this. We read that on their fucking thing. So here's their crash out.
So
that they deleted. This will be something. Let's see what we got here.
So I'm at my wit's fucking end.
Whoa.
I'm wearing a suit and showered in a few days because I just can't bring myself to even fucking take care of myself right now.
I'm just gonna be absolutely, that's fucking great. I understand that sometimes when you're depressed it can be hard to shower. Sometimes my wife gets depressed and she doesn't want to shower, and I get it. I respect that. I feel like you're putting a whole fucking fursuit on and you're putting and what do you like, isn't it easier to shower? Also, I hate putting fucking shirts on when I feel sweaty. You know what I mean? Like, I can't put a fucking shirt on if I sweat and stink a little bit. So, how the fuck do you... Whatever. How stinky is that fucking thing? How stinky is that fursuit? That's fucking crazy. Who's buying these things? You said people are buying those from you? Degenerate. Terrible.
Your loved one dies.
Whoa, loved ones.
Something you cared about more than anything, and all you wanted to do was give.
Bro, I'm not trying to be a fucking asshole. Part of me feels like, and I wouldn't even blame them, that they're happy that this fucking lizard's dead. I'm not trying to be an asshole. The only reason I say that is, again, like they were like, we watched that video where they're melting down about how like they got blew up off of low effort videos, banging the table saying, "My name is Margo," you know? I feel like you partially associate that with the lizard, so you're probably there's almost like a relief that maybe you can move on spiritually from this fucking moment where you blew up and you have a lot of distress about it, you know?
Live a restful life as they got older, and they died of cancer.
Whoa.
Cancer, something no one caused.
Well, listen, they got carcinogens out there. I don't know.
Something no one could prevent.
Maybe. I don't know.
But it's my fault. I caused cancer? Cancer? Are you fucking kidding me? Cancer?
That's crazy. What's up with this voice? Whose voice is this? Do they have a voice box on this saber-toothed tiger? What the fuck is this? Okay.
Margo was obese when she was young.
Why was she obese? Let's see, guys. I'm just going to Google this. Does obesity lead to cancer? Chat, yes, obesity is a significant risk factor for developing cancer. It's linked to an increased risk of 13 different types of cancer, including breast. I can't read the rest. Don't care. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe that's what... I mean, I'm just saying.
As I got older, she was put on a diet treatment. Lost all that weight, but still had a little bit more. You want to know why? Because her uterus went septic.
Oh my god.
She was refusing to lay some eggs, and I had to take her to the vet. She had to get her uterus removed and half of her tail amputated, which cost me over $6 grand to save her fucking life.
That's crazy. I'm gonna be fucking real with you, dude. I would have taken a shish kebab and I would have rammed it up its ass and I would have grilled it up and I would have prayed to some kind of the old god. And I would have been like, I'm utilizing the body and the soul, and it's like eating Jesus Christ, right? Like, you know, Father, the Son, Holy Spirit, the blood is the wine, and the bread is the body. I'd be fucking, you know what I mean? I wouldn't do that, but I think maybe I would. I think that if I had a lizard, and my lizard was going to cost $6,000, I would say, you know what, God bless, and I would maybe put the lizard down. I would have put the lizard down. But also, here's my thing. Emotionally, I'm listening to a fucking person in a fursuit. I'm listening to you in a fursuit with some kind of AI voice on, and it makes it harder to take it seriously that you loved your lizard. It makes me, you know, that's crazy. And, you know, you could have bought 2 fursuits for that price. You know what I mean? Also, how come you don't have any lizard fursuits? That seems a little suspicious that you're claiming to love Margo like a child. But all of your fursonas are not lizards. How did you birth a lizard out of a saber-toothed tiger? That makes no sense. So,
her tank was set up the way it was for her own fucking safety.
I don't know what that means.
If you ever even knew Margo, like none of you
I said lizard.
ever fucking did, you would know she didn't like to climb.
Oh my god.
She didn't like to be up in high spaces.
Oh, yep.
She preferred to sit and bask.
Are you saying that the lizard just sat down and did nothing all day and didn't want to climb? That's kind of sad. I feel like maybe there's an issue there.
She preferred to crawl around, sit and bask.
Wow.
And how do I know that? Because she was my fucking pet.
Whoa.
She was with me 24 fucking 7.
Damn.
Not any of you. You're making up lies about how Melon died when she arrived with an upper respiratory infection and it killed her within a week from the breeder. You lied about how
Where you go? What the hell?
Lemon died, saying Margo jumped into and taken him. No, he was in the care of my mother. My mother left the door open, left his lid open, whatever the fuck. And he got out, got in there, and came home dead. That wasn't my fault. I wasn't there. And another part.
Why did they 2X it themselves? I wish they didn't, but...
Guppy is a female. I don't own a male. And for all the other fucking people, the same, like,
How many fucking lizards do you have? Why do they keep dying? What the hell's the matter? Something's going on.
4K, do you not know that the necropsy autopsy, the payment for the shipping her body overnight across the fucking country, the payment for the services, the payment for the urn, the payment to ship back, all of that fucking adds up. Saying I'm using this 4K to buy a new fursuit, why the fuck? I'm moving. I'm in the middle of moving. I have so much other things to think about than a stupid fucking costume. I'm wearing this because I look like shit.
You're wearing a stupid costume that you're wearing when you're trying to put out a super serious video.
I haven't had a single fucking moment to breathe. I haven't had a single fucking moment to process anything going on.
Also, there's no way it costs, because what do we get, like an estimate of like $1,000? Tell me it costs $3,000 to ship this dead lizard back and forth to where you are? What?
You were using screenshots and shit from 5 years ago when I didn't know proper husbandry, and you're just like, oh, that's still going. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. All of you deserve to rot. All of you.
All of you deserve to rot. All of you. Incredible. All right, well, I think that's pretty much it with the whole Margo lizard thing. That's crazy. That's just fucking crazy. Wow. I can't believe somebody gave $50 fucking dollars. Oh my god. That's fucking crazy. Well, yeah, I think that's it for these. Rest in peace, Margo.